they play together feels like slicing open a barely healed tattoo. Jill's best friend Mickey says she will be out of this gloom soon. Breakups have a probation period, he says. Jill is on the last month of hers and Mickey is patiently keeping her company. But the real silver lining is Shinta. Having a hot Japanese actor friend in times like these is a welcome distraction. This gorgeous celebrity has been defying time zones and distance through the years to be there for Jill. Now he is here, physically present, and together he and Jill go through old lyrics, vivid memories, walks in the rain, and bottles of beer. Together, they try to answer the question, what do you do when forever ends?
Songs of Our Breakup
by Tria.
The sudden chorus of rain and thunder completed her day. Jill lifted her face to the clouds, feeling every drop soak through her pores. She had never done a rainwalk before. The water stung as it hit her skin like bullets, and the wind was bone-numbing cold. It would have made sense to hail a cab home, especially with the sudden turn of the weather. But Jill was beyond logic for the moment, and she felt like going for a long walk. She heard the sound of another car coming to zoom past her, but it stopped before it splashed more slush down her jeans. The honk was familiar. The zip of the window as it went down was familiar. She was waiting for these sounds just hours before, but it felt like a year ago. Nice weather for a walk, isn't it? Jill walked on, Shinta's car following her in a crawl.
Go home, Shinta. We missed the movie.
There was a roll of thunder and a mini tsunami from a truck flying to the opposite direction. Nice weather for a drive too. Perfect visibility. Shinta went on as gray water splashed his windshield. Jill almost smirked, but her mouth was pulled into a frown by strong forces of gravity.
Do you have me on GPS?
She called over the rain. That would be a lot more convenient. Shinta's face was peeking out of his window, hair jet black and plastered on his head in seconds. I called your phone and Kim picked up. The name stretched inside her mind like a bad dream. Jill stared at her soaked sneakers.
That's a really good idea. GPS.
Aren't you coming in?
I haven't been invited.
Well, you are cordially invited to the warmth of my mother's humble car.
Well, leather squeaks and sticks when not properly dried.
This is another one of your talents, you know.
What is?
Making things difficult. The soft purring of the engine died, so it was easy to hear the slamming of the door even as the rain drummed against the concrete. Shinta started walking with her, his clothes and shoes drenched from his first step. Jill frowned at what she could see of him through sheets of rain.
What are you doing?
I've had a lot of practice walking under fake rain, but never under a real one, Shinta said, moving closer towards her. His white shirt was turned instantly transparent by the downpour. Why are you going through with this? It hurts.
I don't know.
She quickly turned her back on the unexpected glimpse of his hard stomach, the ripple of muscles defining an unmistakable view of a full six-pack. How was it possible that he could still distract her when her mind was in pieces? She bit down her lip and plodded on in the rain.
You get back in your car, Shinta. You're making this the entire point.
Which is?
I'm trying to have an emotional moment alone here.
Fine, he finally said, stopping in his tracks. Jill plodded on, relieved that he gave up. If she could lift her soaked legs any faster, the quicker to run away from the temptation of his dry, warm car. It really is nice weather for a walk. Jill swiveled, one foot sinking straight into a puddle. Shinta was a few meters behind, his face upturned and screwed in irritation in the falling rain.
You're still here?
She cried. Shinta looked down at her, his face a mask of surprise. I thought you'd gone farther. I'm going on my own rain walk. You're not the only one with emotional issues, you know. Jill could only stare. This was a very weird boy standing here in this downpour in his soaked wet shirt, his car idle looking at her as if daring her to make him go away. One corner of his mouth lifted. Let me just take your trail. I'll be very quiet, he promised.
Your car will get towed or stolen.
She pivoted again, catching the sight of Shinta's lips, lifting into a full smile as he copied her steps. You know what goes great with rain? He called.
Dry clothes and a really warm towel.
Ice cream. The ice cream shop attendant crossed her eyebrows and then when they entered the store, trailing in mud, rain, and stones all over her gleaming floor. She had opened her mouth, presumably to shoo them away, but Shinta had smiled at her, below, and murmured his apologies. So instead, the shop girl served them sundaes, Shinta serving unapologetically heftier than Jill's. They sat opposite each other at the corner booth, the plastic seats squeaking under their soaked clothes, a puddle of dirty water dripping from their hair to the floor. "You owe me a movie," Shinta said as he chewed a spoonful of mint chocolate chip. Jill toyed with her spoon.
Sure. Tomorrow.
"We can't tomorrow." He waved his spoon at her face, trying to catch her eye. "We are helping my mother with last-minute party things."
All right.
Jill nodded slowly. "Normal things such
Just
as..."
birthday parties are still happening in this dark world where your ex cold calls you for emotional comfort only to feel you up soon after. His mom has cancer. The thought went on a loop in her head. He kissed me and I ran away.
She put one hand on her cheek, fiercely brushing away the salt that had mixed with the rainwater. Shinta's eyes were locked on her face as he consumed his ice cream, one full mouthful after another, watching her like a movie he wasn't quite pleased with. "Hey, I read up on stars today because you seem to like them so much," he said, breaking the prolonged silence. Jill raised her eyes, swallowed the lump in her throat.
Really? And?
"Well, according to astronomy, when you wish upon a star, you're actually a few million years late." Shinta fixed her a serious look. "That star is dead." Jill sniffed.
Just like my hopes and dreams. Fitting.
Won't that line make a good song? Jill went back to spooning the puddle in her bowl, her eyes hot.
Story of my life.
Shinta reached out his long fingers and switched their bowls, dumped his spoon for a bowl of salted caramel ice cream and pushed it into Jill's mouth. She swallowed, welcoming the sugar rush and the brain freeze. Jill sighed and met his gaze.
Have you ever felt that love is the most stupid thing in the world?
He smiled. "All the time."
Okay, why don't they teach that in school? Emotional safety 101. How to love without losing your sanity. Instead of people running around claiming they feel it while not knowing what to do with it, how to handle it, how not to break it, how to keep it whole. It's a terribly dangerous thing in the wrong hands.
I don't think enough people know about the proper way to love to facilitate these classes that you speak of, Shinta said solemnly. Jill snorted.
Well, I know I'm not qualified.
She leaned on the table towards him.
Have you ever been in love?
"Twice," he said quickly.
A childhood friend gets dibs on the first one, right?
I sat next to her through kindergarten. It all started when she lent me her sharpener.
Sounds romantic. Then you grew up into all of this, and I really wish you put on a dry shirt.
She sighed out through gritted teeth, her train of thought leaving her. "Well, if I had a fresh shirt, I'd give it to you." Shinta fixed her a serious frown. "You're shivering."
No, I'm fine. I just...
Jill waved a hand at the length of it, soaking in front of her, water dripping from his sable hair down the length of his neck, down his collarbone. It was impossible not to notice this boy, even as she brooded in this dark mood, even after her ex-boyfriend had broken her heart again.
I don't believe you, Shinta. You have abs now.
Patches of pink lit his cheeks. You were saying that love is stupid," he grunted, arms over his broad chest. Jill released another breath, averting her gaze so she could concentrate on sulking.
I was saying, you must have left behind your own trail of broken hearts.
I try not to be an asshole. Shinta kept his arms crossed, mouth in a serious line. "I believe in karma. I guess none of it worked out because I was already in love."
Ooh, you mean your second love? How come you never told me about this? Who is she?
Shinta leaned back with the sweat seat, empty bowl forsaken on the table. "I don't think you're ready to hear that story." Jill
Why
frowned.
not?
Shinta fished from his pocket and pulled out her phone. It was dry, unlike the pair of them. He had probably left it in the car before he joined her rain walk. He fiddled with the buttons, easily breaking her passcode, and found her music. He played back a rough recording of her last rewrite of All the Way, the song that refused to be faced. Her curiosity about his secret love forgotten, Jill quickly realized that Shinta had gotten her phone back from Kim.